Collective. What's up, Collective? This is T from Top Tier Tarot by T. It's my pleasure to be serving you today and being your spiritual advisor. Thank you for choosing me. We're going ahead and we already prayed over the cards. We are now getting a full spread on what the divine ancestor spiritual team that was assigned to us for our greatest good have for us as a collective. What they want the collective to know, what your team wants you to know. Okay? So, yeah, and when everything around you is falling apart, you are allowing yourself to seem like everything is okay. Okay? How can I put it's very ironic because before I did this reading, as you can tell, I'm nasally. Before I started the reading, I had went into prayer, before I even went into prayer, I blew my nose. Excuse me. Cleansed the area, blew my nose. And then I was eating some toast. Excuse me. And for some reason, while I was in the mid-prayer, when I usually don't do that, I reached over, took a bite of some toast, and realized I had a napkin that I blew my nose in that I automatically cleaned up before I could, be able to use it again. And I said, dang, I wasn't even supposed to eat while I was praying. Something like that. So that could be significant. Almost like somebody cleaning up a mess before they even make it, or allowing the mess to be what it is, or remembering to keep a tool or a utensil around, because needing a nap. I have toast right here, so I should probably have a napkin over here anyway. You know what I mean? Something significant about that. Something is significant about that. There's a lesson that's needed to be learned here with the Ace of Swords. The lesson that's needed to be learned comes from loss. Needing to walk away from loss and disappointment. Needing to walk away from loss and disappointment. I'm sorry I keep repeating it because it just seems like even being in a mental state of, even if you are like, okay, we see these type of individuals that are coming through here. You are on a slow momentum towards achieving what is actually in alignment with who you are. But things around you have to fall apart. And you have to allow it to fall apart. If you're like me, I feel like this reading is hitting home with me because I recently did a sweetening on my life, right? And I'm not contemplating the manifestation. I'm more so focused on now affirming a lifetime. Wow, affirming a lifetime. Wow, that resonates for somebody. But that is really what it is: affirming my existence and creating a lifetime, a reality, a lifeline, right? And because I understand that we are super batteries, super atoms, right? And everything in our existence comes from us. I feel like a cricket. Oh, these cards are. Everything in our existence comes from us. Like, that is also significant. Like, being in alignment, but not so much. Like, just a little bit off. Just a little bit. not too far off. But you know, I sweetened up things, and yet I felt like maybe if I didn't sweeten it up and I just let it be, that there would be some major lessons that I would learn and I would still be okay. You know what I mean? Because even when I ate the toast, like just now, and I had it on my fingers, I really didn't have much on my finger. You know, I just didn't want. I just wanted to, like, you know, just squeeze a napkin, just touch like where my tips were. I wanted to touch it on a napkin. You know what I mean? And the want wasn't necessary. So in some cases, somebody here may want this reality or yearn or in this reality, but you may have things around you that still want to kind of pull you back, maybe even. Kind of make you feel guilt or shame or bad for wanting to do that or needing to do it, because you're slightly, you're in alignment, but you're slightly off because of things around you that are still falling apart, that are still having to catch up to what you already understand. Because when I did a sweetening, I did a sweetening on me, for me to have a better perspective of my own existence, to take initiative and work and walk in that direction, type of thing. Almost like it has to, everything that you manifest has to work on you first, and then everything around you will kind of fall in alignment, however those things may be, right? So and in a sense, it almost seems like I'm avoiding, not just talking about me, but like someone here is, we're avoiding the loss. And we might even be in our head about like the things that's going on, but it doesn't show in our emotional integrity. And I've never looked at the King of Cups as emotional integrity, but just realizing that you are emotionally stable, strong, and mature to handle any experience that comes your way, and that you're still able to be nurturing and balance responsibilities with what life expects of you. And I'm taking my time with this reading, and I'm usually fast because I feel that Spirit wants this message to be heard in that manner, because I asked to be used, and so that's how this is going to go. And I want to bring attention to this place right here, right? Because my son took this pen and he did what he wanted, and that's that. And okay, so I feel like there is a circulation on your flaws, and I wouldn't even bring attention to that or care about that, but there is like a someone or something, or even it could be you, that wants to focus in on what's wrong. And Spirit is saying, look at all the work that you've done, and think of it, and think of how the consistency of it. Because the Knight of Pentacles is an entrepreneur that has consistency. It's not just an entrepreneur, it's a he's a warrior in a sense, right? And the Pentacles are about finances. However, it could be any direction you're taking in life to gain material, or to gain some type of a level of tangibility, a reward. To eat. To eat. The Page of Cups is the new beginning of like eating, reaping the reward from your work. instead of looking at these things. Because all of those losses were lessons. You also need to appreciate the tools that you've accumulated from those losses. The things that, like the band-aids that, like, let's say like this, an emergency kit, for example. Nobody knew what was needed to be in an emergency kit until emergencies arise. Emergencies have arrived, arised, and then over time it became a perfected thing of what's required inside of an emergency kit. So in your own personal life, you have been equipped it with tools that you don't need, that you don't necessarily, you shouldn't be like rocket science for you to know what you need. Like somebody who goes to school to learn, how to do certain things, they master it to the point where it's almost like second nature to prepare. And with the Queen of Swords right here, your mind has already understood how to overcome obstacles with the Judgment card, or to oversee. Your mind is already made up on answering the call to do what is necessary. And somebody here is kind of feeling like this place in their heart where they're like, is this the right thing? And what I was saying about mastery and fulfillment. Feeling like, feeling unfulfilled, like, am I doing the right thing? The mastery of unfulfillment. It's like a give and take, because you're going to reap the rewards from your actions. The bitter part about it is that the loss you have to go through, and where you currently are right now, where you have lack that you're moving on from. Like you're in this slow, progressive momentum, and through this motion, you still have to kind of learn some. You have to actually take advantage of the weapons that you've acquired. You have to actually use, you have to actually put into action. I don't see any wands up here, really. This is the thing. You have to actually put in the action. This is almost like being the magician here, but I don't see any wands, right? Whew. But that's the truth. That's probably what is hidden, that, somebody here is not using everything that they have. Somebody here may be learning to accept everything, the loss, the things they have, the momentum, their position where they're at, the fact that they have to cause to bring people karmic justice, and bring people into judgment, or they have to sound the alarm on how they really are. Like to know that you're a leader, to know that you're intelligent, to know that you're wise, to know that you're powerful. It's a knowing before it's a doing and being. And it seems like it's nothing. But if it wasn't, it wouldn't have came with all these challenges. And it wouldn't have came with this slight feeling of unfulfillment. and burden and responsibility. It's a lot with so much power has a lot of responsibility, right? Wow. 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 So what we're getting to is the underlying message of what success feels like to the successor. The pain nobody really sees, um, the work and the sacrifice that nobody really understands, um, the decisions that had to be made, the people that had to be lost, the struggles that nobody's seen, but the work that continues to be done. And you could be in the beginning stages of this. But when we have these major arcanas come out, they represent long term. They represent the big picture for you. And it seems like no matter how this wheel will turn, you will succeed. Because you are emotionally stable. You know, when your emotions are at sway, and knowing that you are the super battery, you alter it to go from negative to positive. The atoms shift. When your intellect, when your mind is at sway, and it's out of a place of casting judgment. And you know, judgment sounds like, oh, I'm judging you. No, you're judging your own life, which means that you are taking authority for yourself and your responsibility, and you're mastering that. I can't eat this and I won't eat that. It's not good for me. I already know better from the experiences that I've had. You know what I mean? In this situation, I need to do this. Like, it's almost like before you make a flaw, you fix it. Keeping yourself in alignment mentally and emotionally. The Queen of Pentacles could also be like a Wands card, because she has everything that is embodied to do what the Knight of Pentacles does on a consistent level. To be a Knight of Pentacles and a Queen. To have a Queen do what it's just with this Five of Pentacles in the middle, right? Oh wow, Pentacles right away. It takes this embodiment of a Queen of Pentacles, which she is nurturing, but she also can balance finances and leadership. She's also reliable. I believe she's resourceful as well. And the Five of Pentacles is having to walk away from loss and disappointment, but doing it in a slower pace. And being and reminded, you have to remind yourself. Seven of Pentacles, you have the resources. Excuse me. The work that needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's all about taking that action, though. And I'm not seeing any card here about action. And this wanted to come out. So, but this will bring you fulfillment at the end of the day. So, baby, King of Swords, the Fool. So here's the action. Here's the action. So some of you guys might be a mentalist. Some of you Maybe an air sign. Okay. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Aries, and Virgo, um, Pisces, and Leo wants to stick out to me, but there's no fire signs up here, right? And I really think that your fulfillment comes from you knowing exactly what's required of you, who you are, where you are, when you are supposed to be there, being on time, punctuality, showing up when you don't really want to, and having no care in the world, and just moving on about your way and doing it freely. Because no matter which way you go, like I said, no matter which way you go, you'll be able to succeed. You have to free yourself from you already did. So let me not say what you have to do. For some of you, you may have to free yourself from this doubt and this focus on realizing that the things and the people around you may not, or may not be ready for this change. Others of you have already freed yourself from that reality and accepted what's required of you to move on from loss. And your outcome is, either way, your outcome, because of the fact that you continue to move forward and you can't undo the lessons that have been done. You have avoided a lot of chaos. You have overcome a lot of battles. You have seen, foreseen, know, and understand yourself, what's required, what's needed, and you're doing it carefree. And some of you need to do it carefree, I don't see you failing. I don't see anything going in a negative direction. I see that right now you may be feeling unfulfilled. You may not be seeing the results as of right now, but it's inevitable, and you're in alignment with it. Somebody's mind here could be the downfall of somebody else's life. Like, if you think hard enough on somebody or something, you could ruin somebody. King of Wands. Yeah, this King of Wands is definitely it. That's it. With the Six of Cups. You are going to be, if you're not already, doing things from a place of passion, joy, emotional fulfillment in a childlike way. You're going to be doing it you're going to be doing it that much and that frequent that it just seems like, I just want to keep saying you're unstoppable. I keep wanting to say you're unstoppable, because you really are. And the only person that can stop you is you. And so far so good. It's just the people around you that's kind of trying to make you get in this place of being in doubt and fear and confusion and stagnation, and focus on your loss and what you don't have, but it's right there. So just keep going. For some of you guys, you might have to just kind of I don't know why I'm making this message seem like it's a downer, like a downer, but it's kind of sad. But the reality of it is, it's not. It's just the world catching up to who you are, and that's what I'm going to title this reading: "The World Catching Up to Who You Are." So thank you guys for sharing, and subscribing, and tuning in. I hope that this message resonated with you, and if it did or didn't, just let me know in the comments. I appreciate all the feedback. It makes me better. It also allows people who need to see this video see it on the algorithm. So please help my channel grow. And have a good day. Peace.